Okay, so just to remind everyone, I'm not in that big loft space that I was in when I was making videos last year or the year before or whatever, but I'm now in a tiny space. I'm in a tiny apartment space. And as I said, the last time I made videos, I think I said it anyway, the large space was great because I could work on big paintings. But I've come to really like this space, being in this small apartment. It's cozier than I've been in a while. I feel safe. I wake up. First thing in the morning I'm painting. I'm painting before I go to bed or illustrating before I go to bed. So it's brought out my most productive self, which is what I want. Now, what we're looking at tonight, and it is nighttime, so I'm trying to be quiet so I don't disturb my neighbors in my tiny apartment building. What we're looking at tonight is a portrait that I've done not once, not twice, not 3 times, but this is the 4th time. I've been too anxious since I was asked to do it to actually complete it in a meaningful, clear, and beautiful way. Something I could be proud of, and something that conveyed the girl's spirit to the viewer, her inner self, and her mother's reflection of her. They were all just a convoluted mess, and I'm really happy to say that number 3 is, the 3rd try, is sitting in the dumpster out in my parking lot. I hated it so much, and I kept thinking, it'll do, nobody will know it's me. So I turned it around and I put it against the wall at one point, and I thought, we'll come back and visit it again later. But then I happened to start this one, and boof, it fell into place, like quick. Everything in this fell into place the way I wanted it to, or almost everything. I pulled number 3 out, the 3rd try on the portrait, looked at it. It is so bad. It is so horribly bad. I couldn't wait to get it downstairs, throw it in the dumpster, and pile garbage on top of it, so that I never am tempted to even look at it again. Now, what prompted this 4th try is, back at the beginning of the year, I decided to promise myself that I would stop settling. Settling for, oh, it'll do in my artwork, settling for maybe this situation will work out, settling for you can just keep treating me like this because someday things will get better. And I've started opening my mouth a lot more. When I'm feeling mistreated. I've gotten very direct. I've also decided to relieve myself of people and places and things that were causing me stress and weren't really, it had no payoff at all. It was, fruitless situations that were never going to work out, and it was evident to everyone. But I'm one of those people that hangs in there because I see the opportunity, I see the possibilities in everything. I do. I see the possibilities or the potential in situations where there is no potential, there's none, and I'm just being hopeful. So in that decision to stop settling and to relieve myself of such people, places, situations that were, where I saw potential, but there was nothing. I decided to start pulling paintings out, old paintings, and reviewing them, ones that hadn't worked out for me in the past. And I decided to either fix them or throw them away, or attempt to fix them, and then if they weren't fixable, to put them in the garbage. Just get rid of them. We're going to start clean. So I'm, running through paintings right now, and also old projects like this poor portrait. This has been, it's not the girl, it's not the woman that ordered it, it's me. This has just been an albatross, and I think it's because I had physically and mentally and emotionally attached myself to places and people where there was really no payoff. It was nothing but anxiety all the time. And and I'm not saying this about any one person or any one place or any one organization. Just, I have a habit of, I will make this work. I don't care how bad it is, I'm going to make it work. Well, you know, I've decided to stop being silly. Anyway, I decided to redo her. And I'm really glad, really glad I did. Because now I'm about to finish up a product or a piece I can be proud of and people can feel connected to, instead of me thinking, it'll do, it'll do. I've relieved myself of settling for it'll do. I've redone her and I'm happy. There are things about this poor girl that have to be fixed, like her shoulders. I don't know what's going on there. And the fact that she goes from this, you know, big colorful face to kind of a sunken rest of herself. I know there's a chest in there somewhere and I have to find it. I know that there are arms in there somewhere and I have to find it. The problem is, I'll show you, I only work my reference material is always black and white. And I don't know if there's glare. This apartment has the worst lighting in it, so I'm not sure what the glare is, but I only work from black and white materials, or reference materials. And this poor girl, I have been working for so long on these different versions of her that the picture is paint covered. You can barely see her, but luckily I have other photos of her that I'm using to fill in the blanks. So we're going to find the shoulders. I'm going to find her chest and bring that out so it's more level with her face, so she's not just one gigantic head of color. Now, what you can't see in there, the thing I think I am most proud of in this, is that when the light, in the light, and I don't know if the camera can capture this, but with the naked eye at least, and maybe with a better camera and better lighting, light is allowed to go into the painting and in through the mediums that I've used, go to the black and white background that's behind her, hit the aerosol designs that are behind this, the front of the face, all the aerosol designs that are back there, and bounce back out. And when it goes down to the black and white gesso, it also hits the aerosol and comes back through. It makes the paint, the glazing paint on top, the oils that I've used on top of the aerosol and some acrylic, glow. It's kind of the most amazing thing to see. And I'm really proud because in the last 3 portraits I did of her, I had all this really beautiful design on top of the black and white gesso. I had all this beautiful aerosol design, and people on Facebook commented on it, oh, it's gorgeous, she looks like she has, you know, henna tattoos, blah, blah, blah. But I just got frustrated and ended up covering it all and trying to do Caucasian skin, and it was just a tragedy. Yes, a tragedy. I had lost her 3rd eye, which I am just determined to give this young girl. I had lost it. I had covered it with traditional peachy Caucasian skin, and it was just mediocre at best. Horrid and mediocre, and I think mediocre is better than being horrid. Is worse than being horrid, but whatever. Anyway, this time I went very lightly with the paint. Very, very lightly brushed in the paint using my favorite thing, Neo McGilp by Gamblin' Paint. I love this stuff. If it were legal and Republicans would allow it, I would marry it. I love Neo McGilp. I was mixing this into each paint as light as I could make the... Sorry, I'm not being clear. It's been a very long day. Neo McGilp helps to thin out paint, oil paint. So you can brush it in like thin layers. Or you can use it, you can use the paint a little bit thicker and just add a little tiny bit of Neo McGilp. Neo McGilp, one thing I like about it is it helps the paints to dry quickly. They don't dry, they get tacky. And it's a process, and you can see and feel it while you're painting. And I forgot where I was going, and there we are. Anyway, I used the Neo McGilp in thin layers and was able to apply different colors, different lights, different darks, but allow the under painting to show through. And that's what's helping the glow. Because I had the control enough to say, I'm not going to go heavy, I'm not going to give up, I'm not going to give her Caucasian cheeks, I'm not going to give her a Caucasian forehead out of complete frustration. I'm going to stick with the colors I like to use, I'm going to use the process I like to use, and I'm going to control myself, control the paint, go thin. So now I've got all these great colors that in the correct lighting, once again, glow. And I'm really hoping my photographer, Brett Henriksen, in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, Brett Henriksen, is able to capture that glow and the color. I know what I wanted to add. On top of the painting, not the underpainting, the top layer, it's been a really long day. Anyway, I've put oil crayon on top. I've highlighted here and there with oil crayon. It's thicker, it's very intense, and I can add kind of like a firefly feel, spot, firefly feel, so it feels magical, and it really is incredible with the paint glowing underneath it and around it, the little fireflies. That's my thing for the night. I'm gonna go eat my salad and get some sleep, and try and do another video when I'm a little bit more coherent. But yeah, I guess that's it. Just kind of not settling anymore, not settling for Caucasian skin, and not settling for frustration and, you know, painting horrible paintings, and relieving myself of things that make me anxious and afraid. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, ciao.